see, 3 minutes. It's great to see everybody coming in.
Yeah, Lynette, that's also kind of our fail-safe here in case the recordings don't work out. We have things in multiple spots.
So we're live on YouTube like right now.
Just on Jackie's YouTube page, which it's not like she's a social influencer with lots of followers.
So millions of people are... Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's this whole other...
Yeah, there's like a Jackie cult, Brandon, didn't you know?
Well, that does sound right. In all of the positive ways, that could be it.
Yeah, we're building our branding cult.
Would not surprise me one bit.
Brandon, is the Idaho Coaching Network, is that going to, will that continue on in a very limited fashion or just discontinue? Do you know?
The network itself is ending at the end of June, and there'll still be some sort of support for educators. We're just not sure what that will look like at this point.
I see. So your future is TBD right now. You're kind of, okay, this is where we're at, and we just take one day at a time, right?
We're just focused on this conference right now.
That's right.
And continuing, the work of the year. We still have a lot of things before everything wraps up. So,
right.
Yeah.
Just curious. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for asking. For those who have just come into the session, dropping the link to the slides in the chat. You want to be able to access those. We'll get started in just 1 minute. Welcome, Stacy. I know you. Good to see you. All right. Welcome, everybody. Before Tammy gets going, I just want to welcome you to the session. What do you want to be known for? The power of a classroom mantra. As we get going today, just those reminders on some of the Zoom etiquette that it's helpful to be muted unless you are speaking. And there could be times when I might mute you, and I don't mean to do that in a rude way. It's just a way to make sure that we have as clear of audio as possible as we're working together today, as well as for the recording. I'm so excited to be able to introduce Tammy McMorrow, who's a first grade teacher at Indian Creek Elementary in Kuna, and I'm just going to turn it right over to her, and she can do some amazing things.
Well, I'd like to tell you a story, but actually there's someone in this space who can tell it 1,000,000 times better than I can. So my cousin Lori Roberts is a teacher, a PD giver, and a storyteller extraordinaire. And she's going to do her magic right now. So without further ado, Lori Roberts.
Good morning, everybody. When my dad was in his late 20s, he planted his first garden. And about a week after he planted that garden, he went out to the garden one day and he was digging around in the dirt looking for signs of growth. And above him, he heard this sound. He heard, "Bert, what are you doing?" And he looked up, and there was his grandfather, Gus, who lived next door to us. And Gus, of course, was a veteran garden grower. And my father sort of sheepishly admitted, "Well, Grandpa, I wanted to see if anything was happening." And Grandpa Gus said, "You put the seeds in the ground. You've done your part. You've watered, you've fertilized. You just got to believe in your seed." And my father, in addition to being a garden grower, was also a pastor for 50 years. And he used this idea of believing in your seed in many a sermon throughout my life. I have taken this idea to my own classroom, and I can't tell you how many times I have struggled with the student in class who looks disengaged or seems to maybe not be learning from my carefully sequenced lessons. And I remind myself, Lori, believe in your seed. And even if I never get the feedback that I really want, I try to hold on to that idea, believe in your seed, because very often I have heard from those students, and I've been shocked that the one who looked disengaged came back and said, your class, Miss Roberts, made a difference. So everybody, believe in your seed.
I'm going to invite you now to write into the day. You can grab a piece of paper. You can do this digitally, but make a list of your life mantras. And if you don't have any, I'm sure you've heard some throughout your lifetime. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to jot some down, starting right now. Okay, about 30 seconds. All right, would you finish that last thought? And then let's just all take a few seconds to type one of those mantras into the chat box and see what kind of wisdom we can come up with here. These are beautiful. Lovely. Thank you for sharing these with us. You already have so much experience in this. Well, for many years, I always wanted my own mantra, but honestly, I didn't feel wise enough. Like, what could I ever say that would be important enough to last generations? Because usually mantras do that. They last for a while. Then one Sunday, I found it. I found that thing I wanted to be known for. I found my mantra. As my pastor stood in front of us with his arms stretched out wide, and he's got like a 6 feet wingspan because the guy's tall. He said these words, I'm surrounded by greatness. And I knew in that moment that I'd found it. I found my mantra. So on my first day of school, I stood in front of my first graders with my arms open wide, not nearly as wide as my pastor's. And I said, I'm surrounded by greatness. And I could tell by the blank looks on their faces, they had no idea what I was talking about. But I repeated it, and I repeated it as you do with mantras. And eventually it morphed into, you are full of greatness. And they got that. But I wanted it to become more than just my words. I wanted the students to take ownership. And this is what that sounded like. Listen in.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am full of greatness.
And that's still what it sounds like every morning in my classroom. And I can only hope that in 30 years, these future 36-year-olds will still want to say, I am full of greatness if they ever say the Pledge of Allegiance, because Miss McMorrow told them so. And eventually these words ended up actually as part of the classroom itself, like on my doorway, as you can see. But my favorite place to see them is where it says, to LAP, you are full of greatness, Azalea. Because I believe that one of the highest compliments I can ever receive as a teacher is when my words become theirs. So what do you want to be known for? Today, we're going to examine the power of a teacher's words in the classroom or whatever space you happen to be in. We're going to understand why classroom mantras are powerful tools. We'll choose one, and then we're going to explore what the classroom mantra could look like in daily practice. And it's all based on these enduring understandings. Our words are powerful and affect the classroom and school atmosphere. Our words can become a student's words. Our words can follow a student into his or her future. And amazingly enough, our words can change us. Because the language that teachers and their students use in classrooms is a big deal. And I believe that what we're going to do next will support this truth. I'm going to give you a lot of directions, but I'm going to repeat them at the end, and then I will definitely ask for questions as well. So in a minute, our friend Brandon is going to whisk you away into a breakout room. And in this room, you're going to find in our slides that Brandon has linked in the chat box, you're going to find a collaborative placemat starting at slide 12, but you're going to find the one that matches your breakout room's number. You'll notice right here, this one belongs to room 1. Now, when Brandon whisks you off into this room, you'll get this little message that says something about room 1, room 10. Try to pay attention to that number. And somebody in your room, when you get there, will remember it, I'm sure. So once you know what your room number is and everyone's there, go to your collaborative placemat that matches that. Each member is going to read one article. So person 1, blue article. Person 2, pink article. You'll see that they are linked right there. Then each of you will silently read your article. And once you've done that, you'll return to your group's slide. So person 1 will grab this blue Post-it note, and they are going to type 3 words or 3 short phrases on that Post-it note from their reading. And then they will drag that Post-it right over here on top of their box. Each person will do that in their room. Now, there should be 4 people, but if we can't make that happen, if there are only 3 of you, just read 3 articles. If there are 5 of you, then 2 people can read the same one, and you can duplicate the needed Post-it and make your own there. And then as a group, once each of you has read your article and finished your Post-it, you're going to grab the orange Post-it note and collectively type 3 words or 3 short phrases that summarize what was shared as a group. Now I'm going to repeat all that because that was a lot. Okay, so In a minute, you'll be whisked off. Pay attention to your room number. And then once you find your collaborative placemat that matches that room number, read your article. And then each person will type their takeaways, move their Post-it to their collaborative placemat spot. After each person shares their Post-it, you will collectively type 3 takeaways right there in the orange box. What questions can I answer for you after that extravaganza of directions? Okay, real good. Okay, I'm excited for you to have these conversations and do some great reading. And Brandon is going to send you off. Enjoy, friends.
Okay, so with the breakout rooms, if you do miss the number, you might look at the very top menu, and sometimes that'll let you know you're in room 1, room 2. That hopefully at least one person in your group gets it. All right, here we go.
Now I'm nervous because I think there was only one other person in there, and now I feel bad for leaving.
Lindsay will get there. It's taking her a little bit. And for some reason, Tammy got sent to a room, so I recalled her back.
Okay.
And then I might jump into a room. We've discovered.
I can be in a room if you need me to be, if it would help out.
We discovered that the breakout rooms weren't recording. Sorry, Tammy, I didn't think you would be shuttled off to a room there. Okay, I might jump into a room because there's one that has only 2 people. And what I am not sure of, I don't think it'll record, but the live stream, it might go blank. It might also it might also just have you live stream. All right, I'm gonna jump into a room that needs some help.
Anything I can do, Mac?
Don't think so. I just forgot to tell them they have 20 minutes, so I just put it in the chat box. I hope they see that. Otherwise, I think I'm good.
I could almost swear you did say that, but maybe it's just because I already knew.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Good.
How is it on your end?
Good. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
I saw 29 people was the number that I saw consistently.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, if you're in a room, you still see chats that are going on outside of the room, correct?
Well, you can send a message to the breakout rooms, or if you're yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to either of those for sure.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you can.
Did you see Brandon's box?
No.
It says we are being live streamed.
Oh, okay. But he might have been answering this question. Is this part when they're in breakout rooms? Are we being live streamed right now?
That's what that's why he sent the box, is he's telling us that you and I are the ones that are being live streamed.
Okay.
You're back, Mr. Bollier.
Answer a question. Okay, there is one group that only has 2, so I feel like I should jump in there.
Okay. And quick question, Brandon, will they be able to see that I put something in the chat saying about 20 minutes? Will they be able to see that?
I don't think so. I think when they're in breakout rooms, they can only see the chat there. But I can broadcast.
Can you tell them we have 16 minutes left? Or will they have a timer? I don't know.
There is a timer, but sometimes it's hard to.
Okay. Because we're at right under 16 minutes right now. I should stop sharing and see what's going on. Just a minute.
I don't mind if the live stream. Oh, never mind. That's very echoey.
Stop sharing.
Something I can help with?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, that's weird. I've got 15 minutes to figure this out. Okay. Come on, computer. Come on.
What's up?
I was going to stop sharing so I could go in and look at their collaborative placemats, and my screen is weird. Got a rotating little circle like it's thinking, and
Oh,
like, so I'm kind of in limbo right now. It's like says not responding. Google Chrome is not responding.
that's not good.
No. So I'm wondering about closing out and coming back in.
I was going to say that would be my. And maybe do you have your other device there?
All right. I'm not sharing anymore, right?
You weren't sharing for me even before.
Oh, I wasn't.
No.
Okay. So all this time I haven't been sharing though?
You were, but not since we went into breakout rooms. At least not
Okay.
the last. Yeah, it's just been you and me on my screen.
Interesting, because I didn't like specifically stop sharing.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, looks like they're making good progress.
Cool.
No, I'll leave it. $11 minutes left.
Are you doing this on just one device?
Yep.
I don't even understand. I don't mean like abstractly, like I literally don't understand when you're sharing your screen on Zoom, how do you see people?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make me crazy because I share from one screen and see people on another.
Yeah, on my Mac at home, I was able to share and still see Brandon. But here, the setup is a little bit different, unless I'm doing something wrong, but it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't want to mess with it.
So why not be on both devices so you can look on one and share on the other?
Well, Brandon was telling me I didn't need to worry about 2 devices.
It's become my new normal in life. I always had 2 devices with kids just so I could share from one and see them all.
haven't been watching. Has Brandon given another time?
Just did. He just told him 3 minutes. He said you have 3
Perfect.
minutes, and if you haven't started compiling your list yet, to start doing that.
Great. He's awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna go here.
So breakout rooms are going to close in about 50 seconds.
Okay. So I want to share my screen again. Let's share. Okay. Thanks for taking care of all that, Brandon.
No problem. I think it worked, and I see stuff on all of the slides. So that is
Yeah, I was watching them, so yeah, looks good.
all right. They'll be coming back.
Okay. All right, welcome back, everyone. I was eavesdropping on your slides, and I just saw some beautiful work going on. In fact, there were some things I'm like, oh, I want to say that on Monday when I get back to school. So can you just take a second and pick one of your favorite thoughts from your placemat and just put it into the chat really quickly so we can all enjoy some beautiful thoughts. I love that. We don't take failures personally. It's a good one. A lot of power in our words. Believe in each student's capacity. There's a mantra right there. Oh, thank you for sharing those, and thank you for doing the work that went into reading those articles and sharing your thoughts. It's obvious that we all know that words are powerful, and we're a group of people who use them in that way. But I believe there's something extra powerful about an intentionally chosen mantra that we repeat over and over. I believe it takes our words and the power of our words up a notch or two. A mantra can change our students, and I also believe it can change us. So I'm going to share some stories with you, some mantras about what some teachers are known for. Some of them are my stories, and some belong to teacher friends. And while I'm sharing, I'm going to invite you to grab a piece of paper or to do just do this digitally on your own. If you were a student in one of these classrooms, how would you feel if you repeatedly heard these words over and over and over again? Just jot down some adjectives as I share these stories, these mantras. You remember that first day of school where I stood in front of them with my arms up and wide? Well, I also said, I loved you before you even showed up. And I say it on the 30th day of school, and I say it on the 114th day of school, and I share it after I was gone for 2 days waiting for my COVID results, and I came back and things didn't go so well while I was gone. When the kids really are messing up, I say it. This is what I want to be known for. Listen to your heart. I can just see myself down on my knees and I'm looking into a set of eyes and I lightly touch this little person's heart and I say, listen to your heart. It will never let you down. And 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, when Josie in my classroom made this sign for me that you see on the slide, I had no idea that 7 years later, her mom would still be sending me notes and stories and messages of how Josie still listens to her heart and shares that message with the people around her. This is what I want to be known for. This one comes in super handy in my first grade classroom. I say it so often, as mantras are said. I can go, kindness is more important, and they will finish it for me, than getting your own way. This is what I want to be known for. And then a few years ago, I kind of figured out that I was like giving my kids the wrong impression. I was giving the impression that the things I was asking them to do were easy, and they're not, even for us adults. Listening to your heart and kindness and doing what's right even when no one is watching, these are hard things to do. And I needed to let them know and give them permission to understand that it's not easy, but it's important. And then this one ended up getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it felt like something I needed to start saying. There are no bad kids in our room, just good kids who make mistakes, doing their best. And I love that when we got a new student this year, that one of my girls, one of the first things she immediately said to her was, there are no bad kids in our room. We just make mistakes. We just do our best. Man, they're listening, right? But this doesn't just change them, it changes me. I have to ask myself, do I allow kids to have bad days and make mistakes? Do I really authentically believe that they are doing their best, even when my adult brain doesn't see evidence of that? See, this is what I want to be known for. My friend Gregory Taylor, he says, I know you can. I've always been a demanding teacher, he says, with high expectations. Sometimes students will complain that stuff is too hard or that I expect too much. Over the years, I found myself frequently reassuring them that I knew they were up to the challenges of my class and in life. I had confidence in their abilities and grit, even when they themselves weren't so sure. Whether I'm encouraging a student to get their grades up across the board, or finish a tough assignment on time, or stick with something they find difficult, my strong affirmation is always, I know you can. Jonelle Warnock says, I just want my students to know that I will always believe they can do it, even when they give up on themselves. Early on, I think it made a difference to the kids because someone who didn't know them was saying they cared. Now, it is a reminder to me. Funny thing though, our nurse who is new this year said she walked by it every day on her way out, and it made a difference to her before she even knew me. And now, the Lori Roberts.
Hi, everybody. One of my mantras is I'm on your side. It's something that I accidentally started saying about a dozen years ago. And I remember a specific moment when I had sort of an epiphany about being on my student sides. I was actually at church one day and the morning announcements had just finished. And I turned to the person next to me and I said, what time is that thing tonight? And as I said it, I realized that I had just missed the thing that the announcer had just then said. And I'm an adult learner who cares. I'm engaged most of the time, but even I can't hold all the stuff in my head at once. And I thought about the times when a student had come up to me and said, when is this due? Where do I turn this in? How much time do we have? And I would say, I just told you. And I think I've broken myself of that habit. I've worked really hard to say, oh, that's due in 5 minutes, or you're going to turn that into the basket over there. And I've worked really hard on keeping my tone conciliatory all the time so that they never feel shamed for not remembering every single thing I've said. I'm on your side.
Thank you, Lori. I'm going to invite you to, in the chat box, put one of those words, those adjectives that you jotted down. You felt like if you were a student in one of these classrooms, this is how you would feel. Would you please do that? Yes, these are beautiful words. This is what these are the spaces that we want our students to experience. And this is what mantras can help us do. Thank you for sharing those. You know, it's interesting, when I saw this quote, I just latched onto it from Daniel Pink. Mantras have always seemed a little woo-woo to me, but research shows that repetitive utterances can induce a state of psychological calm. Man, our classrooms could use a little bit of psychological calm these days. So this is worth thinking about. So let's take some time to brainstorm some possible mantras for your space, whether it's a classroom, or school, whatever it happens to be. Here are some guiding questions. What do you already frequently say? That could become a mantra. What do you believe about students? What do you want students to believe about themselves now and in the future? What problem of practice do you struggle with? Because sometimes those can turn into amazing mantras. And then what life mantras do you have that could actually transfer into the classroom? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to just jot these down on your own on a piece of paper, or you could do it on your own digital note catcher. Just dump some classroom mantras. Use these guiding questions if you'd like to. There are no wrong answers. So 3 minutes starting now. About 1 minute left. Sorry about the train noises. Okay, let's finish this up in the next 30 seconds. Oops. All right. Now you're going to have a chance to transfer those ideas onto a slide. So you're going to choose a slide starting at slide 35, and you're going to jot down your ideas that you just created onto Post-it. So like one mantra per Post-it, and then you'll see the Post-its on the sides, and then you move the Post-it over to the slide. If you want to change the font size, please feel free. If you want to change the size of the Post-it, you got it. If you want to add more Post-its, it's all yours, so make it your own. The only thing I would ask is that you try and kind of spread out so that there's only a small group of people using each slide. And feel free to add more that you hadn't even jotted down. You'll see what someone else wrote and you're like, oh, that's another, I can add this one. So I'm going to give you 4 to 5 minutes to find a slide and start transferring your ideas onto one of them. But what questions can I answer before you do that? Okay, let's find a slide starting at slide 35. about 30 seconds. Right. I have to say, I am so enjoying reading these. So we're going to have a gallery walk. I'm going to invite you to look through these. I'm being inspired. Like, I'm going to have some amazing things to add to my collection on Monday. So let's take just a couple minutes to just explore these beautiful mantras that you have brainstormed. Right, Brandon, we need to add these to some daily affirmations. Yes. These are great. Well, I am I'm just really impressed with what you've already come up with. I am going to power through this. Wish there was an easier way to do this, but I'm sorry, friends. Okay, here we are. What we're going to do now, I don't want to create any anxiety for you, but I'm going to ask you to pick one. Know that you are not married to this mantra. I'm not going to check up on you in the next month to see if you're following through on this. Because sometimes I don't know my mantra till it comes out of my mouth the day it comes out. And I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. So if that happens to you, that's great. But go ahead and just pick one. I want you to think of all the mantras you've seen today, whether you've heard it from me or you saw it on one of these slides. And let's pick one that you'd like to explore in your space. You're going to choose a slide. Starting on slide 45, you'll have your own. And you're going to type your mantra into that bubble. So this is what your slide looks like here, right here at the bottom. You're going to type it into the bubble, and then using the Post-it notes, include a few practical applications of what this mantra might look like on a daily basis. Like, for example, my mantra ended up added to our Pledge of Allegiance. It also ended up on our door. Lori's mantra is affecting how she talks to them on a daily basis, as well as she includes it as a hashtag in social media with her students. So what are some possible daily practical applications of what that mantra might look like? I'm going to try and give you about 8 minutes to do this, 7 or 8 minutes. So can I answer any questions before you pick a mantra and put it on a bubble?
So each person has their own slide?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Yes. So you're going to pick your own. There are plenty to choose from. And then, yeah, so just process on that slide. Thanks. Okay, so let's all pick a slide and get started on that. About 7 minutes. if you finish earlier, I'm going to invite you to read some of the slides that are already complete and enjoy some mantras. We have about a minute left. Okay. Sorry. All right. Okay, friends. Sorry about that little glitch on my end there. Use your error. If you saw that. Brandon is going to now give us maybe about 5 or 6 minutes. Brandon, you can make an adjustment on that. He's going to send you into a breakout room with most likely 2 other people, and you're going to have just a little backyard barbecue, just mingle. Each of you will have about 2 minutes to share your mantra slide and any ideas about practical applications that you have from that. And we just want you to have a chance to enjoy and celebrate what you came up with today. So Brandon's going to send us off for about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, thanks, Brandon. It's not working. There it is. So Brandon, when you were in a breakout room earlier, I tried to not share my screen, and I had a total Chromebook block, and I had to exit out and come back in. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna stop screen sharing. I'm just gonna go through all these slides. So I'm sorry about that.
That's no problem. I'm sorry that happened. I'm glad it got figured out though.
Yeah.
You seem cool and collected, so it wasn't obvious that had happened.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see, we have 1 room of 2. So I think I might jump into that room.
Okay.
That's okay. And then you'll be live streaming just yourself hanging out here.
All right. Thank you, Brendan.
You're welcome. And I set it for 6 minutes.
Okay.
Because
I only need a minute at the end anyways, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully. There you go.
Oops.
Alright. Seems like you're all coming on back.
Yeah, good boy.
I wish I could have listened in on all of those wonderful conversations, but it was fun to look back at all your mantras and your daily applications for sure. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we're all back. I'm just going to finish this up. Like, what do we want to be known for? The last week of school, I ask my students some questions to answer. And one of the questions I ask is like, what do I always say? Then these are some of their answers. My teacher always says, kindness is more important than getting your own way. My teacher always says, I loved you even before we showed up. My teacher always says, you're full of greatness. So at the end of the year, how would your students answer this question? If you haven't already, start intentionally telling them and planting the seeds starting on Monday.
Hey, thanks so much, Tammy. It's hard in a virtual environment, to get claps and applause. But thank you so much for guiding us through that. That's lovely to see. Yes, and reactions. Just the conversations that I was able to eavesdrop on or be a part of. People are just embracing this and transferring it and thinking of all of these great ways to share these positive words with their students. So thank you for inspiring us this morning, and thanks everybody for your participation in the mantra workshop. It is a lunch break for the conference, so you'll have a little bit over an hour now. So you'll want to be ready for session 3, which will start at 12:45 Mountain, 11:45 Pacific. And again, you'll want to access the registration or the conference website for the Zoom link and any conference materials for that session. Other than that, hope everyone's having a good morning so far, and enjoy your lunch.
Thank you, everyone. You've inspired me.
Thank you, Tammy.